might be little bit there, but I will try to finish early. Okay, I won't take much time. So first of all, a quick recap. So in the last lecture we discussed about yes, bleeding time. Very good. We discussed about bleeding time. So okay, quick revision also. How many tests we finished so far? ABO grouping and HB estimation, DSR, then we finished the TRBC, TWBC, then DLC, then PDS as test. Next, what is bleeding time? Now today we will discuss clotting time. Okay, fine. So a quick revision. What happens in bleeding time? So we have a blood vessel, right? And this blood vessel will be damaged. Damaged blood vessel will expose the, what is this? Will expose the collagen fibers, right? Collagen fibers are exposed, and we know that this blood vessel made up of what cells? Endothelial cells. So immediately what endothelial cells will do? They will release, endothelial cells will release a component, a cytokine. It is called as 1 milligram factor, right? So 1 milligram factor was dumped on collagen or settled down on the collagen fibers. Then what happens now? A platelet will attach to the 1 milligram factor. What are the platelet properties? Attachment, then aggregation and activation. Very good. Now, platelet attached, and there is a receptor, if you remember. The receptor is GP1B, right? And now after attachment, this platelet will release two chemicals. What are those? ADP and thromboxane A2. So in the presence of thromboxane A2, what happens? Many platelets will aggregate at the site of injury, right? So this is called platelet aggregation. After platelet aggregation, platelet primary plug form and bleeding will be stopped. Bleeding prevented. This is bleeding time. After this, what happens? Now the platelet will get activated. Activated platelets, what they will do? Activated platelets will convert fibrinogen to fibrin, and fibrin leads to clot. Right? Now, I will just add on further things in the story. So this fibrinogen conversion to fibrin is mediated by clotting factors. How many clotting factors we have? 13 clotting factors. A quick recall of all 13 clotting factors. Tell me students, clotting factor 1. Everyone write down these things. Fibrinogen. Right? Sorry. One was fibrinogen, then yes, prothrombin, then tissue thromboplastin, very good, tissue thromboplastin, then calcium, very good, then 5, labile factor, very good, then 6. Now, there is no sixth factor, keep in mind, right? There is no sixth factor. Then 7th factor, stable factor, very good, stable factor. Then 8th factor, anti-hemophilic factor. Then 9th factor, Christmas factor. Then 10th factor, Stewart-Prower factor. Stewart-Prower factor. Very good. Then 11th factor, plasma thromboplastin antecedent. Okay. Plasma thromboplastin antecedent. Then 12th factor, Ekman factor. Very good. 12th is Ekman factor. Ekman factor. And last and final, fibrin stabilizing factor. Right? These are the 13 clotting factors we have. So now you know what are clotting factors and what are platelet, this one, platelet properties. Now you just tell the students one important thing. In case of bleeding time, what exactly we are trying to measure? If bleeding time was prolonged, what factors lead to increased bleeding time? Before I am going to clotting. Yeah. Yes, tell me students. One, what happens if, what is the normal platelet count? 1.5 to 4.5 lakhs. Okay. What happens if my platelets are less than 1 lakh? Less than 1 lakh platelets. What happens to my bleeding time? It will increase. Now you know the reason, right? Less platelets, they can't hold the bleeding, so it will prolong, right? So decreased platelet count leads to increased bleeding time. One reason we understood. What might be the other reasons to get increased bleeding time? Guess. Huh? So decreased platelet count is called as thrombocytopenia, right? Now tell me other reasons of increased bleeding time. Yeah, very good. So someone saying factor 8 deficiency. Very good. Factor 8 and 1 milligram factor are they are combined actually. They will work together. Married I said. So yeah, factor 8 deficiency leads to increased bleeding time. Very good. Even though it is a factor, it will. Okay. I think I need to do one more thing. So we need to check both the test results simultaneously to understand these variations. I will write here bleeding time versus clotting time results. Now you tell me students, in case of factor 8 deficiency, what happens to the clotting time? Factor 8 deficiency, what happens to the clotting time? It will increase because one of the clotting factor missing there. So clotting time will increase. Very good. What happens to the bleeding time? It will also increase. Right? Now, there is a challenging situation. Imagine. This is normal, but this is increased. What might be the reason? Bleeding time is normal, but clotting time increased. Tell me any one condition. Though you need not to connect it with this one. Vitamin K deficiency. Very good. Very good. Vitamin K deficiency. Vitamin K deficiency. See, now I can understand most of you are not connected yet with your previous lecture. I will let you know that way. Next one. Any other factors leading to increased bleeding time? Reasons. Bernard-Soulier syndrome. Very good. What is the Bernard-Soulier syndrome and Balzman's thrombasthenia? What are these two? Do you remember? What is Bernard-Soulier syndrome and what is Balzman's thrombasthenia? Yeah, the attachment and aggregation receptors. Receptors deficiency of the platelet. Very good. Platelet receptor deficiency may lead to increased bleeding time. Or we can say like this. In this case, there are 4 lakh platelets, but still the bleeding time was increased. Even though we have 4 lakh platelets, still bleeding time increasing because the platelets are not functioning properly. They have some receptor deficiencies. That means even platelet function disability. Okay, their improper function can lead to increased bleeding time. So bleeding time was, majorly focusing on platelet activity actually, and PF and 1 milligram factor and factor 8. But moreover, it is focusing on platelet activity. Is it clear? Yeah. Any other reasons to increase bleeding time? Collagen deficiency can be added here. It's a both statement. Yeah. Collagen deficiency can lead to increased bleeding time. Any other reasons? There is one more strong reason you forgot. It's beyond the clotting factors, beyond the platelets. This reason was beyond clotting factors in platelets. Can you guess what is the reason? I given you an example on that day, that is this one. Athlete syndrome. One athlete who is running on a track collapsed due to Marfan syndrome. What happens in Marfan syndrome? Do you remember what is Marfan syndrome? Now blood clotting. Yes, Miss Chantal. What? Yeah, very good. Thinning of blood vessels. The blood vessels become too thin. That means, can I say blood vessel integrity? That means the rigidity of blood vessel. Imagine if the blood vessel is too thin, it is highly prone to mechanical damage. Am I correct? If blood vessel was not thick and it is too very thin, like a layer of onion. If it is too thin, a simple mechanical damage can lead to blood vessel rupture, leading to bleeding. So yeah, bleeding time, we'll check three important things: platelet activity, factor VIII, 1 milligram factor, and third one, blood vessel wall integrity. This is the major focusing areas of bleeding time: blood vessel wall integrity, and platelet function, platelet count, and these two, 1 milligram factor. Clear, right? This is all about bleeding time. Then coming to the clotting, now I will discuss clotting in detail because today's was clotting time estimation. I think, shall I also add this one? Methods of bleeding time estimation, tell me students. Bleeding time estimation methods, lab test methods. Tell me the three methods. Yeah, very good. We have finger prick method, Duke's method, very good, Duke's method, and IVY method. Yeah, very good. So, what is this finger prick method? Here, what instrument we are using? What equipment we are using in finger prick method? Okay, lancet plus this one. What is this? We need a location. What is the location of finger? Oh, very easy. Anyway, filter, taper, and finger we are using, right? Then what is the location of Duke's method? Earlobe. Very good. So, in what criteria we might opt earlobe instead of finger prick? For kids, very good. Now listen students, I didn't say about one negative thing. The problem was Duke's method lead to a chance of hematoma. Can you guess what is hematoma means? Hematoma, what is hematoma means? Any idea? Simple, bleeding under the skin. The blood will bleed under the skin. It will make a internal bleeding. Now there will be a reddish hue to the skin. Eventually that will become black. Okay, so that is called as hematoma. The chances of hematoma is very high. Okay, very good. Then what is this IVY method? What is the location of IVY method? Yeah, forearm. Very good. Forearm or this way, antecubital fossa and this way. Very good. Antecubital fossa vein. Actually, I forgot this vein. Can anyone say name this vein? Superficial vein. There is a particular name for this. Cephalic veins. Okay, brachial veins, cephalic veins. And you should remember these things. Anyway, what is the ideal pressure we are keeping for IVY method? What is the pressure we are applying for IVY method? 40 mmHg. Very good, Miss Baisenge. Very good. 40 mmHg. That is the ideal pressure, and in this pressure we are estimating the bleeding time. Very good. Next, last time someone pointed me a question about my mnemonic for understanding intrinsic extrinsic pathway or coagulation pathway. So I just want to give a quick review on a coagulation pathway. coagulation pathway. So whenever there is a blood vessel damage, there are two types of damage leading to bleeding. One might be blood vessel damage leading to bleeding, or other one, if this is a tissue damage, maybe a tissue damage lead to bleeding. Okay. So there are two types of damage: blood vessel damage and tissue damage. If it is a blood vessel damage, it will trigger a pathway called intrinsic pathway. Intrinsic pathway. If the tissue damaged, or simply I will give one example. If you are trying to cut your vein here with a blade, that is intrinsic pathway. Immediate intrinsic pathway will initiate. If you fall down from a bike or bicycle, then you will definitely have this damage, right? Your knee damage usually. There it will activate the extrinsic pathway. Simply. Extrinsic pathway, tissue damage, whereas vein damage will be intrinsic pathway. I don't want to use the suicide word. Now, a quick glance at this pathway. Everyone, draw this pathway. Everyone, you should recall these things. Intrinsic pathway, immediately there will be epithelial damage or endothelial damage plus obviously blood vessel damage plus endothelium damage. Now, factor 12 circulating in the blood will be converted to 12A. How it is activated? How 12 was activated? 12 was converted to 12A. The triggering was this one: blood vessel damage. Immediately after blood vessel damage, blood vessel will release high molecular weight kininogen. In the presence of high molecular weight kininogen, the 12 will be converted to 12A. Clear?
No.
Yeah. Do you know how enzymes works in the body? Every enzyme will be, inactive enzyme is called as what? Inactivate enzyme is called as what? Zymosin. Is that zymosin? Inactivate enzyme. There is a word for it actually. Do you remember, Miss Melissa? Anyway, how enzymes works means, if this is an enzyme, this enzyme always connect with a product, and enzyme activation can be triggered by pH. One example will be pH. For example, trypsin. Trypsin present in the, or we'll take pepsin. Pepsin present in the stomach. Okay. To activate pepsin, it needs pH 1. If pepsin present in the mouth, here the pH is around 6, so it won't be activated. Every enzyme needs an activation environment, maybe pH and concentration of substrate and product. There are some criteria to activate an enzyme. Now, once the enzyme activated, it will trigger the next enzyme. The next enzyme will trigger the next enzyme. I will give one best example: glycolysis pathway. Hexokinase, it will convert glucose 6 to glucose 6 phosphate. Now glucose 6 phosphate will activate another enzyme, enolase. Then glucose 6 phosphate transferase. There are enzymes that will act as a cascade reactions. One enzyme will activate other one, the other one will activate other one. These things are called as cascade reactions. Similarly, our clotting factors has the cascade reactions. This clotting factor 12 will get activated by high molecular weight kininogen. This is released from a damaged blood vessel. A damaged blood vessel will release this one. Now it will activate the 12, leading to conversion to 12A. Got it? That is how the 12 was converted to 12A. Okay. Now this activated 12A will convert to 11A. This activated 12 became a stimulator for 11 to convert to 11A. Okay. So this is the activator of this one. Okay. Next, this 11 activated 11A will convert 9 to 9A. Activated 11 will convert 9 to 9A. Okay. Now, in the presence of factor 8 plus calcium, here also calcium. Everywhere calcium is present, by the way, keep in mind. Calcium is one of the cofactors. If you remember cofactors in enzymes, there are also some cofactors. Magnesium will act as a cofactor for some enzymes. Epoenzyme, coenzyme, partial, and you don't know these words. Have you studied enzymology? Not yet. Oh, that's why. Sorry, it's in our matter. Don't you have metabolism, biochemical metabolism subject? In which semester? This semester, then you must know it. Anyway, I don't put that subject now. Anyway, now you understood, right? The 11 convert to 9 to 9A. In the presence of these two simple students, we are going to convert to 10 to 10A. This 10A is called as prothrombin activator, by the way. Okay, 10 to 10A. This 10A will make something called prothrombin activator. Prothrombin activator. This is the step 1 of correlation pathway. Stage 1. Either intrinsic or extrinsic. Let me write extrinsic also here.
Sir.
Yes.
What's the full form of
High molecular weight kininogen. High molecular weight kininogen. K-I-N-I-N-O-G-E-N. Kininogen. Okay. Now listen. Now, whenever a tissue damaged, they will also release chemicals similar to high molecular weight. In this case, the chemical will be, the triggering chemical will be glycoprotein, glycogen, lipoprotein, GP simply. Okay, this lipoprotein will be released. Immediately, lipoprotein will convert in the presence of factor 7. In the presence of factor 7, this will convert to 10 to 10A directly. See, it's a shortcut pathway. Directly here to convert 10 to 10A, we have multiple clotting factors, whereas in extrinsic, it's a direct step. Tissue damage released lipophospholipids. Okay. Then that in the presence of factor 8, converted 10 to 10A directly. This 10A will make a prothrombin activator. Okay. After prothrombin activator, stage 2. I am writing here stage 2. Stage 2. Here prothrombin activator. You know this one. I wrote this one here. Okay. Now this prothrombin activator will convert prothrombin to thrombin. This is the stage 2. We made a thrombin. Okay. Now, stage 3. Stage 3 or phase 3. In the stage 3, this here we have fibrinogen. Fibrinogen will be converted to fibrin. Who is the activator of this fibrinogen? Our thrombin. Thrombin will convert fibrinogen to fibrin, leading to a clot, blood clot. This is the detailed mechanism of coagulation. This flow chart was very good in Shambhalingam textbook. Shambhalingam by Physiology by Shambhalingam. I already sent this flow chart in the group already. Okay. Is this concept clear so far? Now you understood that there is an intrinsic, extrinsic pathway leading to prothrombin activator. Prothrombin will convert prothrombin to thrombin. Thrombin converts fibrinogen to fibrin. This stage 2 and 3 together called as common pathway. This stage 2 and 3 together called as common pathway. Now I know. If you get confused, what are these words in these things? 12 to 12. 12 was our pigment factor. Our 11 is our plasma thromboplastin antecedent. See, this is a blood vessel mediated plasma thromboplastin came. Plasma present in the blood. Then it converted 9 to 9A. 9, what is this? Christmas factor. So these are the factors that are present in the pathways. This is clear. Now there is a shortcut to memorize this pathway. There is a yes, tableau.
Sir, I do not understand why you said it's called the common pathway.
What?
There's two stages why they are called.
Why they are called as common pathway? Either intrinsic or extrinsic leading to prothrombin activator. And prothrombin is a common pathway. Once prothrombin activator came, it will convert this step. Okay, thrombin will convert to fibrinogen to fibrin. So the goal was to make prothrombin activator. How we are making prothrombin activator? Either via intrinsic or extrinsic. So here there are two pathways. But once prothrombin activator created, there is a common pathway. This is common steps. That's why it is called common pathway. Irrespective of your blood vessel damage or tissue damage, this should be created. And these two will be converted. That's why these are called common pathways. Simple. Anyway, next. My shortcut to memorize this one. What is the shortcut? Do you remember? Very simple. You will write 12 to 1. Right? 12, 11, 9, 10, 2, 1. Right? Then under the 9 you need to write 7. In between 11 and 9. Sorry, in between 9 and 10. Factor 8. In between 10 and 2. Factor 5. I didn't put factor 5 here. It should be yeah. See, in between 9 and 10, there is a cofactor. There are these two, factor 8 and factor 5. So that is why I wrote here, factor 8 and factor 5. Now listen, this is intrinsic pathway. See, intrinsic pathway there, 12 to 12A, 11 to 11A, 9 to 9A, in between 9 to 9A, then 9A converts 10 to 10A, that is prothrombin activator. From here, this is common pathway actually. 2, 1. 2, 1 are common pathway, 5 to 1. Right? So, this is the same thing where we discussed there. This is a simple shortcut. Whereas in extrinsic pathway, it is started with 7 to 7A, right? So, here 7, then 10 to 1. 7, 10 to 1 is common pathway actually. From here it is common pathway. So this is extrinsic pathway and this is intrinsic pathway. Then this table will also give us a clue. The clue was 7, 9, 10 to 1. 7, 9, 10 to 1 are what? Yeah, vitamin K dependent clotting factors. And who will make vitamin K in our body? Do you know? Liver. Liver is the extensively create this one. Liver. Okay. In case of liver damage, definitely these clotting factors will be deficient, leading to increased clotting time. Now, there are some classical diseases, clotting factor diseases. Can you tell me? Hemophilia. What happens in hemophilia? Yeah, tell me. What factor was deficient in hemophilia A? Factor 8, very good. And in hemophilia B? Factor 9, very good. So, in this case, both factors are deficient. Also, bleeding will happen. And what is the reason for bleeding in hemophilia? Even though it is a factor deficiency, why hemophilia leading to bleeding? Usually clotting time should be increased in hemophilia. But why there is excessive bleeding in hemophilia? What is the reason? Why there is an excessive bleeding in hemophilia even though it is a factor deficiency? Can you tell me the reason? Yeah, now you started heavy content, now you are confusing. Why in hemophilia there is an increased bleeding time apart from increased clotting time? What is the reason? If you don't know what is hemophilia, I just want to let you know. if they are doing their tongue wash, okay, they will bleed from their tongue. You know how much blood they will bleed? Around half liter. Yeah, they will become khali mata, you know, the tongue of, okay. Or simply, if you nicely slap them, from skin they will start bleeding. If they are jumping or if they are doing skipping, they will start bleeding from their eyes, from their mucous membranes. If you hit them hardly to the, on the head, they will start bleeding from the nose because they are highly sensitive. If their blood vessel rupture, that's it, they will bleed. Very, very severe bleeding disorder actually. Or I will give one simple example. You don't know that the patient is hemophilia and you just did your, this one. What is this? Phlebotomy. Now, even though how many cottons you keep, they will bleed for next half an hour. They won't stop bleeding. They will keep on bleeding. That's it. They might die. And if that is a female, you can guess the consequences during menorrhagia or menses. Game over. Very challenging. They need these patients need blood transfusion every week. Yeah, very challenging situation. Anyway, my question was, hemophilia happened because of a clotting factor deficiency. But why they are bleeding? Yes, Miss Melissa. Yeah, perfect. Factor 8 was wider with 1 milligram factor. 1 milligram factor requires for platelet attachment. Since 8 is absent, definitely 1 milligram factor won't work. They are working together. They are married couple, as I said. So without one, the other one will be sapped. So they won't work and they will be bleeding. So bleeding plus clotting, increased clotting time. This is one reason. Then I also said about DIC, right? What is DIC formation? Big formation. What is this DIC? Disseminated intravascular conversion. What is this phenomenon? What happens in DIC? Yes, Melissa. Yeah, multiple blood clots across the blood vessels is called as DIC. In case of DIC, what happens to the bleeding time and clotting time? What happens to the clotting time in DIC? Clotting time will increase or decrease? What was your thoughts? Increase. Maybe clotting factors are diverted to there, where they are already converted to fibrin, they are utilized there. Now the clotting factors are deficient in the circulation, in the plasma. If you do a test, your clotting time will increase. It looks like a decreased factors. Yeah, very good. Then, in these patients where there is a high DIC formation, blood clots formation, what we will do ideally? We will keep the patient under anticoagulant therapy. What anticoagulant we can use for such patients? Heart attack, warfarin. Very. What is the mode of action of warfarin? Warfarin will destroy vitamin K, leading to absence of these clotting factors, leading to no clotting, increased clotting time. Right? Yeah. Now write down clinical significance of increased clotting time. Clinical significance of increased clotting time. Clinical significance of increased clotting time. Can you guess what are the reasons? Tell me, try to construct the reasons, students. Increased CT. What might be the reason? Why CT was increased? Yeah, tell me, students. Yeah, factors efficiency, obviously. Any one of these factors efficiency lead to increased clotting time. Any other reasons? Yes? Platelets. Why platelets came in clotting? Why are you bothering platelets in clotting? Clotting. You need not to focus on platelets in clotting time. Platelets are only for prevention of bleeding. That's it. That is their major one. If you say factor 8, that is a different story. Why factor VIII leading to bleeding? But that is beyond platelet problem, right? Yeah, any other reasons? Very good. Vitamin K deficiency. Vitamin K deficiency. Now you understand. Now you can understand the significance of vitamins. Vitamin supplementation is very important, right? Vitamin K deficiency. Very good. Any other reasons? Very good. Liver damage. Obviously, liver damage can lead to increased clotting time. Very good. Any other reasons? DIC formation can lead to increased clotting time, right? Since the clotting factors are deviated to, they are clotted somewhere else. Very good. Any more reasons of increased clotting time? Patient under warfarin therapy. Patient under warfarin therapy. Warfarin therapy. What is the mode of action of aspirin? What is the use of aspirin? Any idea? Yeah? It inhibits thromboxane A2. Very good. Aspirin will block the thromboxane A2 activity. No thromboxane A2, no platelet aggregation, no primary platelet plug formation, no activation of platelets, no clotting of platelet. That is the reason. Okay. And whatever we discussed today, if you think this is depth things, I just discussed tip of iceberg actually. If we deep dive, these things are very interesting. To identify intrinsic pathway issues, we will do a lab test called activated partial thromboplastic type plus activated partial thromboplastic type with cryolin. To identify extrinsic pathway disorders, there is a lab test called prothrombic type. To identify common pathway disorders, we have two lab tests, thrombin generation test and thrombin type. So these tests are called as coagulation profile. Coagulation profile tests. Coagulation profile tests. Those include PT, APTT, PGT, PT, APTTK. Okay. Yes. Prothrombin type, activated partial thromboplastic type, thrombin generation test, thromboplastic type, and this is cryolin. Cryolin is a, I don't know the word, I forgot. It is equivalent to HMW, high molecular weight kininogen. High molecular weight kininogen equivalent is cryolin. This we'll discuss in the next semester. I don't want to touch these areas. Now you got some idea about bleeding time and clotting time, right? Yeah. Now, last and final, methods of clotting time estimation. Methods of CT estimation, clotting time estimation. Methods of clotting time estimation. Let me keep this here. Yeah. Yes, methods of clotting time estimation. There are two methods. Write down the methods. There are two methods. Okay. There are two methods of clotting time estimation. Before telling you, first method, capillary tube method. Capillary tube method. Tomorrow in the practical exam, there is a high chance that I might ask either CT or BT as a major practical. So you must learn this by today itself. Okay, yeah. Capillary tube method, and other one, Lee and White method. Lee and White tube method. Tube method. Lee and White tube method. So let me tell you what is this capillary tube method. Very simple. We are taking a capillary tube. Can you tell me what is the meaning of capillary? Capillaries. Small, drain system. Small creases are called capillaries. And I just love the phenomenon of capillary action actually. Can you tell me what is capillary action? Do you remember? You know what is capillary action means? You don't know? Right? Yes, Miss Jatti. No, it's that is different story. I'm telling what is capillary action. One of the beautiful phenomena in physics. You don't know? Capillary action and surface tension. The best physical properties. Surface tension, and capillary action. What is this? Okay, I will let you know. Listen, if you have any liquid surface and if you keep a very narrow tube like this, if you get contact with the liquid surface with a narrow tube, this is water, and if you insert a narrow tube to a water surface, interestingly, the water will climb the tube. Anti-gravity. How water was climbing inside the tube and there is no one to suction the water. It is open ended tube, but how water entering inside the tube, how is it possible? That action is called as capillary action. The movement of water under a constricted spaces is called capillary action. Who is driving water outside the tube then? What is the force that is possible for this phenomenon? What force causing water to go up against the gravity? Any idea? Yeah, now I will give you an example. Listen, every H2O molecule in the water is attracting each other. So there is a heavy pulling action among the atoms in a water. They always try to attract each other. That's why if you keep water in a beaker, the water will make upper meniscus or lower meniscus. Right? The bulging or depression of water indicates there is an attraction among the molecules. Got it? This is called as surface tension. That force is called surface tension. Now what happens when we are keeping anything inside this water? That surface tension trying to pull up. Water was trying to go here, again surface tension, again some more water came up, again surface tension, again water came up. So surface tension with a narrow tube lead to climbing of water. Now I will tell the beautiful outcome of this phenomenon. The trees are alive. Trees don't have any waters to pump the water from the soil, but they are purely relied on capillary action. The water from the roots will go to the topest twig of the tree, and that is possible because of these capillary tubes. The leaves, the stem, everything has a small channels, small, small spaces, and the water will go through the spaces. See the beauty? So why I am discussing all those things? Because you will do a finger prick, and you need not to suck the blood actually. You need not to do any suctioning. Just keep this tube and the blood will go inside automatically. The reason was capillary action. For that I discussed all these things. Then I want to tell you one more personal story with this problem, with this capillary test. In my BSc MLT, we don't have semester system, we have annual exams. And we will have our practicals first, then theory exam. If we fail in practical, we are not eligible for theory exam. Okay, so first we have our physiology exam actually. In physiology we have this test again. So one of my classmates, he got this test, capillary test. So ideally what happens was, after taking blood, you will wait for 3 minutes. After 3 minutes what happens? Blood will clot. If blood clotted, the fibrin will be formed. If you break this tube, you must see a fibrin thread. Presence of fibrin thread indicates the blood was clotted. Got it? So my friend, he broke in the tube, but he don't know how to do the test. I say, from long distance, just collect it and break it. That's it. So what he thought, just breaking is the test. So he broke it into 5 pieces. He kept on a desk. Then the examiner came, and that examiner asked, "Where is your fibrin thread?" He said, sir, I know the test very clearly. I broken it and the test is done. He's confident he's giving answer, but he's not showing fibrin thread. You know what happened? He didn't clear his physiology exam. You know, he cleared when I was in my second year of masters. He got 3 backlogs. Yeah, writing supply paper was very tough in a government college actually. Yeah, and I remember the reason was he don't know this test, leading to 4 years wastage of time. Okay. So I will be very strict. If you are not getting fibrin thread, I will call your MSc. I will be 0 marks. Be ready. And tomorrow this will be the test. Anyway, yeah. That is capillary tube test. The actual test procedure is like this. Finger prick, start the stopwatch, every half hour, charge the capillary tube, fill it. Every 30 minutes, you need to break the tube. At one particular point, the blood will clot. You will see a fibrin thread in between the 2 broken tubes. That once you saw the fibrin thread, stop the stopwatch, and that will be your capillary, clotting time, right? So ideally, you need not to break every 30 seconds. Wait for 2 minutes. The normal clotting time is around 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. So after 2 minutes, you can stop breaking. Then you will get your fibrin thread. That is the clotting time test. Now, there is a challenge. There is some problems with this test. The problem was, now the blood was outside the body. Am I correct? Blood was in this tube. Let us imagine this is summer and outside temperature is around 44. What might be the clotting time in a warm temperature? It might increase, right? Because blood became more thin or the proteins might denature. Then what might be the clotting time in a chilled room? Maybe it is 16 temperature. The clotting time will decrease. Maybe in 1 minute the blood might clot. So temperature will affect the results. Am I correct? Temperature might alter the results. Then how to remove this temperature issue? Now I will let you know. That is why we have the second proper test. This is called nearby test. Here we are taking a water bath and the water temperature is 37 degrees centigrade, same as our body temperature. Now you will take a test tube. You will take 1 ml of blood in this test tube and just you will keep in this warm tube or water bath, right? For every 30 seconds you will tilt the tube. At one particular point the blood won't tilt and it will stay like that, it will be locked. Why it is locked? Because it is clotted. It's no more tilting. Once you are not seeing that movement of blood, that indicates it's clotted. So this is the gold standard test to get an accurate clotting time. But most commonly used test is this one. Same like our breathing time also, most commonly used is finger prick, but ideally the IVM method is correct method. Got it? So that's it. This is all about clotting time estimation. Clear? Yeah. Any more doubts? I think Vaisendra, you are listening, right? What is her name? You are beside her student. Lomet, she is in another dream world now. She is thinking, what is this thing? Why I am learning? Is torturing. Anyway. Yeah. So, platelet receptor deficiency, bleeding time increases, so clotting time increases. Platelet receptor deficiency, what will increase? Bleeding time, not clotting time, right? Maybe patient was malnutritionist, is not eating properly. What might increase? Bleeding time or clotting time? In nutritional deficiency, clotting time. What is the reason? Vitamin K. By the way, all clotting factors are proteins. When I say nutrition, we are focusing on proteins by the way. So definitely proteins will be deficient, right? Yeah. if the patient is under warfarin therapy, what happens to the clotting time? Increase. If the patient given a aspirin, what happens to the bleeding time? Aspirin. I give an aspirin to the patient. Bleeding time increases or clotting time increases? Bleeding time, but not clotting. In case of hemophilia, what clotting factor will increase? Sorry. Now, what clotting factors are deficient in A and B?
Factor 8 and factor 9.
Factor 8 in hemophilia A and factor 9 in hemophilia B. What is the symptoms of hemophilia? Excessive bleeding. Okay. Yeah, very good. I just want to ask tough questions. If blood vessels are thin, what test will increase? Bleeding time or clotting time? If blood vessels are very thin, very good, not clotting, right? Yeah. What is the mode of action of EDTA? Yeah, it will remove calcium from the blood. That phenomenon is called as yeah, you know, I want, yes, what is it? Removal of calcium from the blood is called as chelation, right? Yeah. I just want to tell this again. It is not chelation, it is chelation. Chelation, not chelation, right? Chemistry is not chemistry, right? This is not a chemistry, right? You won't pronounce this as a just like chelation. It's not chemistry, it's chemistry. K, we are pronouncing as a K, right? Yeah, this is also K only. Chelation, not chelation, okay. Just remember. Yeah. Once my HOD, past HOD, I was taking online class, COVID time. I was telling chelation and students are unable to understand. They are not answering what is chelation, they are not giving. And my HOD said, Vamsi, you are pronouncing it wrongly. You say chelation, they will answer it. Then I asked what is chelation, then they give an answer. Then I understood, okay. Anyway, it's chelation, okay. And also, it's not cocaine, it's coxy. In biochemistry, cocaine in microbiology. It's coxy, not cocaine. Anyway. Clear, right? Get ready for your test now. Quiz.